People have a picture in their heads. They think they know what a stripper is. It's a simple picture, painted with broad strokes of cheap glitter and desperation. They imagine a girl with a tragic past. Maybe she has a drug problem. Maybe she has a dodgy boyfriend lurking in the shadows. They see the smoky rooms and the sticky floors. They hear the booming bass of last year's top 40 hits. They think it's a world of easy money and even easier morals. A place where women are just bodies, spinning under colored lights for a handful of crumpled notes. It's a convenient story, one that fits neatly into a box. But that story is mostly rubbish. It's a caricature, not a portrait. The reality is far more complicated, and honestly, a lot more boring most of the time. For every girl who fits that sad stereotype, there are a dozen others who don't. There are university students paying off their HECS debt, one lap dance at a time. There are artists and writers funding their creative passions. There are single mums like me trying to build a better life for their kids. The club isn't just a place of fantasy, it's a workplace. It's a job with its own set of rules, its own office politics, and its own unique pressures. We clock in, we clock out. Of course, it's not your average 9-to-5 gig at the local council. The job requires a certain kind of armor. You learn to build walls quickly. You develop a stage persona, a character who can handle the grabby hands and the sleazy comments. This character isn't you, not really. She's a performance. She smiles when she wants to scream. She flirts when she'd rather be at home watching telly with a cup of tea. It's a skill you master out of necessity. You separate the person on the stage from the person who goes home, pays the bills, and does the grocery shopping on a Tuesday morning. The biggest myth is that we are all broken. People assume we must have no self-respect to do what we do. They look at us and see victims. They don't see the strategy. They don't see the financial independence it can provide when other doors are closed. They don't see the power in taking control of your own body and your own earnings. They see a girl in lingerie, and their imagination just stops there. They fail to see the businesswoman underneath, the one making calculated decisions in a world that wasn't designed for her to succeed. It's a tough gig, but it's a choice. I didn't grow up dreaming of dancing on a stage for strangers. No little girl does. My journey into this world wasn't born from a specific ambition, but from a desperate need for a solution. I had a mountain of bills and a baby boy with a very healthy appetite. I was working 2 dead-end jobs, shuffling between a greasy spoon cafe and a retail stockroom. I was exhausted all the time. My paychecks would disappear before they even hit my bank account. I felt like I was drowning, constantly paddling just to keep my head above water, and the shore was nowhere in sight. The future looked bleak. The club was a last resort. A friend of a friend mentioned the money, and the figure she named was more than I made in a week. The idea terrified me. It went against everything I thought I was. But fear doesn't pay the rent. So one night, I put on the bravest face I could manage, walked into the club, and asked for a job. That first night was a blur of anxiety and adrenaline. I felt awkward and exposed. Every pair of eyes felt like a judgment. I was sure I would fail, that I'd run out crying. It was one of the hardest things I have ever done. But then something shifted. I survived that first night, and the next. I started to learn the ropes. I figured out how to talk to the blokes, how to make them laugh, and how to create a fantasy that they were happy to pay for. It became a strange sort of game. I realized I was good at it. The money was real, and for the first time in a long time, I could breathe. I paid off my debts. I could afford to buy my son new shoes without having a panic attack. That feeling of relief was a victory more profound than any applause. This job gave me more than just money. It gave me a strange kind of confidence. It forced me to confront my own insecurities head-on. You can't be shy when you're half naked under a spotlight. You learn to own your space, to command a room, and to value your time down to the minute. I found a strength I never knew I had. It wasn't the life I had planned, not by a long shot. But it was the life that saved me. It was the tool I used to build a foundation for myself and for my son, brick by painstaking brick. My life is a tale of 2 worlds that could not be more different. By day, I am just Mom. My world smells of Vegemite toast, laundry powder, and scraped knees. It's a world of school runs in my beat-up hatchback, parent-teacher interviews, and arguments over finishing broccoli. I pack lunches, I read bedtime stories about dragons and brave knights, and I kiss a little forehead goodnight. My son knows me as the person who helps him with his homework and makes the best spaghetti bolognese in the whole world. This is my real life, the one that fills my heart until it could burst. Then, when he is safely asleep, my other life begins. I trade my tracky dacks and messy bun for sequins and stilettos. The scent of baby powder is replaced by cheap perfume and hairspray. I drive to a different part of the city, to a place my son knows nothing about. Here, I am not Mum. I am a fantasy, a whisper, an escape for men who are running from their own lives. I dance, I smile, I listen to their stories. I play a role for a few hours. It's a performance that pays for the school uniforms and the birthday parties. The balance is a tightrope walk over a canyon. The guilt can be a heavy blanket some nights. I worry about what people would say if they knew. The other mums at the school gate, with their neat clothes and their conventional jobs. Would they judge me? Would they stop their kids from playing with my son? The fear of that judgment is constant, so I keep my worlds separate. I have 2 phones, 2 sets of friends, and 2 completely different vocabularies. It is exhausting, living a double life. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to forget which person I'm supposed to be. But every sacrifice is for him. When I'm tired, when I have to deal with a particularly awful customer, I think of his smile. I think of the future I'm trying to build for him. A future where he has choices that I never had. This job allows me to give him stability. It means he can join the local footy club. It means our fridge is always full. I am doing what any mother would do, whatever it takes to provide for her child. My job title might be shocking to some, but my motivation is the most normal thing in the world. The world loves to label women, especially women like me. Stripper. It's a word that comes loaded with assumptions. People think they know my story, my intelligence, my worth, all from that one word. They see me as one-dimensional, a body for hire. They don't see the person who spends her days reading up on childhood development. They don't see the woman who has a fierce opinion on politics and cries during sad movies. They don't see the mother who would fight a bear for her child. They see the glitter and the G-string, and their inquiry ends there. But stereotypes are lazy. They are shortcuts for people who don't want to think too hard. My strength isn't in my body or my ability to dance. My real strength is in my resilience. It's in my ability to walk between 2 completely different worlds and hold my head high in both. It's in the courage it takes to show up for work in an industry that is designed to chew you up and spit you out. It's in the quiet dignity of providing for my family, using the tools available to me no matter what anyone else thinks about those tools. I want my son to grow up respecting women, all women. I want him to understand that a person's value is not determined by their job, their clothes, or the opinions of others. I want him to see strength in all its forms. He will learn that strength can be quiet and gentle, just as much as it can be loud and fierce. He will know that his mom did everything she could for him, and that her love was the most powerful force in his life. He won't know the details of my job until he is old enough to understand, but he will always know he was loved fiercely. So when people look at me, I hope one day they see more than the stereotype. I am not just a stripper. I am a survivor. I am a provider. I am a strategist. Most importantly, I am a mother. My story isn't a tragedy or a cautionary tale. It's a story about a woman who refused to be a victim of her circumstances. It's a story of finding power in unexpected places and building a life, not in spite of the challenges, but because of them. And that is a story worth telling.